So we're adulting, we're making decisions we don't want to make because they're the right ones to make. And Chateau Boheme is going to storage instead of staying at a campground all month long for me to enjoy like 3 or 4 nights a week, because that's silly. So now I have to get it ready to sit, which is annoying. So we know that mice and buggies, they love the soft things. So I'm making a pile of everything that needs to be like put in plastic and then put in a Tupperware container. Thankfully everything's like washed. And then I'm like, all the food stuff that I've had here, I'm removing that. So food going home. Currently I have water in the water tank, and I'm using that to fill the gray tank with soapy water, fill the black tank. I just did a bunch of like chemical stuff. And so that's all sitting in the tanks for right now. And then I will drain those. But yeah, I moved into this thing because I wanted to just like pop in and pop out. And several times now, outfits I've wanted, oh, those are on the camper. Or shoot, I just realized I got this whole dang bar up here. Y'all. What are we doing? Okay, so we're getting organized. That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. The next best choice. Somebody said the other day, oh, I thought you were gonna live in it full time. Yes, I want to, but I want a bigger one. I want a 25 foot or bigger. So there's no point in continuing to move into this if I know I want to move out of it. So as much as I can keep it pristine as possible so I can sell it, the better. And then also, like, there's no point in moving twice. So moving from mini chateau apartment to Chateau Boheme to Chateau Boheme Part 2, silliness, silly. So I feel like I just keep making the next best choice. And sometimes those choices, sometimes I go backwards to go forwards. And we're on a time crunch. I have to be out of this site in the next 4 days to not get billed for next month. But I had to pay for the storage site yesterday because they had a random opening for my size, like in the middle of town, unheard of. Thank you, universe. And then Rankin Riviera is available today because I'm still not confident at backing in. And backing in a parking spot, that's a whole different vibe than me backing in here when I can swing wide and I've got all the space in the world. So anyways, we're grateful for help, and we're grateful for the ability to change our minds and not be stuck when we make a decision. And we're sweating balls because it's 100+ degrees outside and humid, and I'm in a tin can. Yay! What's also impacting me is that I just like things a certain way. So I'm organizing each bed by its own sheets, so when I'm ready to open them, it's very easy. I like it a certain way. I called in reinforcements. Nicole brought me a Smoothie King because vitamins are life. And then we're putting all of my clothes in storage or laundry bags in these bins that we will just take back to the mini chateau. In Nicole's car. Yes. Because my truck's already gonna be full. Yes. It's fine, everything is fine. We're fine. So things we learned with the new fancy truck. The hitch receiver on the new truck is 3 inches, and the Blue Ox hitch is 2 inches.
1.2 miles. Turn left onto Main Street toward US 90.
Don't mind us. We're going on an adventure. So we found one receiver box converter situation. There are other words for that I'm not remembering. That Shane found in Katie, that he's driving all the way into me. And then we learned that my hitch locks are for a 2-inch hitch, not the 3-inch situation. So Nicole and I just drove to Home Depot to buy 4-inch locks. We didn't see a 3-inch lock, but 3 is better than 2. And then Shane mentioned that the receiver converter thingy needed a lock. I'm unclear on that, so I just bought 2 locks just in caseies. And then also realized that the new truck is quite a bit taller than the old truck, meaning that when I hitch up, the camper's gonna do that, putting a lot of pressure on this rear axle, which is not okay. So I called my Airstream friend, Jorge, the guy who sold me the Airstream, and he says that my Blue Ox hitch should have the option to unscrew and go up and down and drop it lower as needed. So the quick trip to move the camper to storage is not a quick trip.
No,
It's not.
We're on an adventure though. We're figuring it out.
It's 99 degrees out. What do we think the humidity's at?
Too high.
Too high. The humidity's at the method of too high. The metric of too high. So we're sweating, and Sage is chilling on the camper because we love her the best, and she gets to relax.
AC for our queen.
Yeah. I mean, even the Airstream guy was like, give Sage a belly rub for me. You got it, Jorge. I'll take care of our girl. So there we go. I get by with a little help from my friends, and thankfully I have lots of friends. To be continued. So we got stuck by the train, heading back to meet Shane at the campground. And Shane beat us there, and we learned that I do not have a 3-inch receiver. I have a 2.5-inch receiver. So the receiver that he brought from Katie, the 3 to the 2, is not necessary. We need to go return that one and buy a 2.5 to a 2, which also kind of means my 4-inch locks are a little excessive, but that's okay. That's okay. Too much is okay. We shouldn't die on the train track. They just had a train leave,
please.
Right?
I don't like being here.
You know, it's gonna be okay.
Full panic.
Shit.
Please change.
Anyway, so we're also now stuck on a railroad track. That's amazing. So we're just gonna hitch up to Shane's truck instead of mine. So Annie will not be pulling Chateau today, and that's okay. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna do it right, so nothing gets hurt, including the humans who are stopped on a railroad track.
Right next to the sign that says don't do
Stop
that."
on track. Well, it was a green light. Okay, that's where we're at. In the interest of respecting everyone's time who was helping me, we did not film the rest of the situation. We were able to hitch up to Rankin Riviera's truck, haul into town, make it into this spot here, and that's where she lives now, and tomorrow I'll go back and finish organizing it. As always, I'm incredibly grateful for all of the friends that help and support me, and for Sage Amelia for being so chill and calm in the middle of all the crazy. I can't wait to see y'all next time for the adventures of Chateau Boheme. Okay, my camping friends. So it has become abundantly clear that I'm not going to move into the 23-foot chateau. She's just a touch too small. So now that's like, do we upgrade? How do you upgrade something you've only had for 6 months? It's fine. Everything's fine. But getting the bigger truck means I could tow anything I want, which, you know, just sometimes I learn the hard way. So I decided a couple of weeks ago that I think I'm going to put her in storage and then just pull her out to camp like a normal person instead of continuously paying the exorbitant monthly rate at the RV park. Which, can we just discuss this inflation thing? It's out of hand. Out of hand. Anyways, I'm like, who can afford $700? It doesn't matter. So I found somewhere near the apartment to store her. And I went yesterday. It was like one of the last spots. Paid for the next few months because I know work will be crazy and I'll have no time to deal with this. And then recruited the Rankin Riviera because I've never backed into something that small. To be honest, I've only backed in 3 freaking times. So it is now 4 in the morning. I've been up since 3 in the morning, just stressing. Like, I think I figured out the best way to pull in to back into the spot. And I paid extra to get like a big spot. So I got a 45-foot spot. It was either that or a 20-foot spot, and I'm 23 feet. So anyways, but really it's a 25-foot spot, but they list it as a 20-foot spot. It's like a whole thing. I'm just really I'm not even the one backing it in, but I'm really nervous about how do you do that? And I have to work in like 3 hours. So, that's what's happening. I don't even know where to look because it's 4 in the morning. I have a flashlight right here. Y'all. It's fun. But I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, bye.